Today I will share with you further to last week drop down list. So how can we use this data validation to have two different drop down lists? So for example, when I select the A1 or A2 or A3, oh okay, nothing will happen. But if I click on this full list, so you can see when I click again, I can have a longer list. Okay, so how we want to do that? How can we do that? So now for this candy list, we have 3 items plus more. And when we click on more, we have this additional selection. So how we want to do that? First, we click on the cell, then we go to data validation. By default, it will allow any value. Then we select the list. Then from the source here, we need to put in the formula. So we use the if this one, the selection equal to this more, then we will put in this list. If not, then we will put in the simple list. Okay. Now I will just freeze the cell. This one. Okay. This one I will just remove so that when I drag on the list, it will change accordingly. Then we click OK. So now you can see here we can have the sweet, we can have the chocolate, or we can have this more. So if we have more here, then we can see we can have more selection. So if I drag down on others, then I clear. Similarly, it will just apply. So we have a chocolate, or we can have more here. So when we have more, we still can see that we have a 6 selection. Okay, so this is one of the usefulness to have the different list. Okay. Another way we can use the drop-down list is if we have a different category of item. For example, now we have a different header for this food. For example, we have drink, food, and dessert. So when we select on this header, so for example, the food, we have this drop-down list based on the category we selected. So if we select the drink, then from here we have only the drink selection. Okay, so how we want to do that? So from here we have this simple drop down list. We based on the list, then we select the list. So this one, the source can be vertical or horizontal. Alright, then from here, this one, the data validation will based on the list and the formula. So we use the if formula similar to the previous example. If this category is similar is this one, then we have the drop down list based on this one. So if this equal to drink, then we have this. This if formula is the first, we have this condition meet. If the condition is not met, then what we do? So if not, then we have this second if. So we basically have a nested if here for different selection. So if you have more category here, then your formula will be longer. So one of the disadvantages of using the formula inside this data validation is you cannot see when you click, when you select the cell, it will not show. So one thing you can do is you just copy the cell, copy this formula, and then you paste on any cell. Okay, so for example, I paste here. Okay, so now we have a different item here. We have a wafer and road, and then for wafer we have 3 different size, but for road we have 4 different size. So how we want to select, when we select a different item, it will have a different drop down list. Okay, so for example, when we select the wafer here, then the size will be based on this wafer size. So we have 3 different size, and when we select the root, we have 4 different size. Okay, so how can we do that? So we go to this data validation. So how basically how offset is working. From here we cannot see how the selection of the cell. Okay, so we just copy, and then we copy the formula, then we paste on this one. Okay, so you can see here the offset. So first we have select this reference. Reference is from where we want to offset. Okay, so first is the reference, then we have this one. Then for the row, we use this match formula. Okay, so for match, we need to have a lookup value. So our lookup value is a wafer. Means when we select this wafer, we want to have this lookup from here. And what is this row number we need to adjust. Okay, so basically match will return the row number. Okay, and then the zero here is the exact match. Okay, so now we are done for this row. And then for the column is 0 because we only have one column. We are not moving. Later I will have another example. We have put a 1 in this column. Okay, and then for this one is the height. So basically we're using this count if is from here how many is the same like this one, because we want to know how many we need to how long is our list. Okay, so this is the height of our drop down list. And then for the width is 1 because we only have one column. Okay, so now we are done with this formula. Okay, so now you can see here if we select the road, then we have this 4. Okay, so this is the offset. Then for the material, we can see here we actually moving to different column. So just now is this column 0, now is the 1. Okay, so basically what we do is just changing this 0 to 1. Okay, so you can see here the formula is I changed to 1 for this one. So basically other thing is still the same. So we are referring to this one. If this we offset from this one to G51. But if we select this one G52, then this we will still put to 0. Okay. So basically this is how we use the offset to have a different drop down list based on the item we select.